Welcome to OATS Uncut, Orator Academy Talks Uncut, where we like to bring you real, relatable, and very relevant conversations. And with one such very relevant topic in mind, I have invited a 10-year-old young lady, Eva. Eva, welcome to OATS Uncut.
Hi.
That's a very sweet hello. I don't look so fancy. Hi. So, Eva, you wanted to talk about something that you are constantly in argument with your parents for. Can you tell us what is that thing? I mean, kids argue over several things, but what is that one thing that's on the top of your list?
The one thing that's on the top of my list is that I definitely want to have sleepovers.
And you don't have sleepovers?
My parents won't allow me, sadly.
Okay. So I've heard that a lot from parents, and actually, some parents give some wisdom to other parents. Don't send your child to others' houses, invite people over. So some people feel comfortable having other kids over for sleepover rather than sending their child. Which one are you allowed and which one are you not allowed?
I am kind of allowed for people to come over, but I'm not really allowed to go over to someone else's house.
What do you mean I'm kinda allowed to have people over? What is kinda? It's either yes or no, no?
It depends. If it's like really planned before, then I would probably be allowed. But if it's not really planned, then I won't be allowed.
So perhaps if you're in school on a Friday and you talk to your friend and you can't decide on the spur of the moment that, hey, you're not doing anything, I'm not doing anything, you want to come for a sleepover? You can't do that.
I cannot do that.
Well, you can perhaps tell your friend, let me check with my mom and then call you, but I'm not doing anything, so we could perhaps have a sleepover. Will that work?
It wouldn't work because my parents needs it to be planned in advance.
I don't blame them. I think, why do you think they need to plan it so far ahead in time? Why do they need to know so far ahead in time? They must have a reason, right?
My parents need to clean up the house. They need to know everything that's going to happen, and they need to trust the other people.
So what is this? You said my parents have to clean up the house.
Sometimes it's a bit messy, but it's very easy to clean up.
Okay, so I'll tell you. What happens is, I think, on a day-to-day basis, we come home tired or we are tired at the end of the day and we just toss things around and we said, I'll get to it later. And then later becomes later and later and later. And then it only gets addressed when somebody is coming over.
That's very relatable.
Talking about relatable. Yes, that is so true. So to such an extent, actually, my story, if not about sleepover though, about this cleanliness part, if I ever said to my children, clean up your mess, remove all this, clean up your mess, tidy up your rooms, tidy up the living room, tidy up the family room, they would actually pause and say, who's coming?
That's funny.
And I would actually pause and initially I used to get very irritated and say, what do you mean, who's coming? Why can't we live in a clean house ourselves? And then, of course, it became a joke. Who's coming? But I like to keep it tidy. I mean, we all like to keep it tidy. And then, of course, I guess when parents say we need to tidy the house before we invite somebody, it is also because we don't want people to think we are messy, disorganized people, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a great opportunity to get things cleared up and uncluttered. Yeah, it's just that we do too many things. Everybody is doing too many things. So do you help your parents in cleaning up?
Yes, I do.
Oh, so do you just clear up, unclutter your room, or you help them with the rest of the house too?
I clean my room and the stuff in other rooms.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay, are you the only child?
I am an only child.
You are the only child. You think that's why parents are very protective of you and they don't want to send you on sleepovers?
I think that's part of the reason.
Yeah. What do they say? Why do they not let you go to somebody's house for a sleepover?
They say that they need to trust people more, and they also don't really give me much. That's really the only thing we've been through.
So the parents say that we need to trust people whose houses you're going to. I think that's a fair ask, isn't it?
I think so, but we've known those people for about 3 years.
3 years. Yeah, I know, but we are living through some crazy times. People, people are genuinely nice, but there are several people who are not so nice. And you being every child, not just because you are the only child, I think every child is parents' most precious thing. I mean, I say thing, but you know what I mean. And it's a piece of their heart that's going away to somebody's house, and they want to make sure that that place that you're going to, that place will be as loving and nurturing and respectful as you are at home, right? So you're you haven't been allowed to go to somebody's house for sleepover. You've been arguing. Have you been presenting a case? Have you done some reasoning with your parents?
I've tried to, but we don't really speak as much because they don't like speaking for some reason. They don't give me much evidence.
Evidence. Parents produce the evidence. What is the problem? Give me a logical reason. Well, that's fair to ask. I think after this episode, perhaps they will now think about having a conversation. See, the thing is, sometimes kids say or ask for, or can ask a question that parent would be stumped and not know how to respond. I remember when my kids were small, I think about 3 years. And for everything, my son actually, the younger one, he would say, "But why?" Did you ever do that?
Many times.
Many times. So everything was, "But why?" I got so tired of answering that question, and sometimes really I was dumbfounded and I didn't know what to say. So he was only 3. I mean, if I made something up, he couldn't have known better. But then I went to Barnes and Nobles and I found a big fat book, the book of Tell Me Why. That was so interesting that somebody actually wrote a book of Tell Me Why. So, but again, it didn't really have the questions that you guys ask. It had the question of why is the sky blue and why are the leaves green and why is the grass green? Why is the water clear? All those kind of questions, not really the questions of I want this candy, but why can't I have it? So this subject or is this issue is so close to your heart that you actually want to give a speech on it on our OATS Uncut event. We're having, by the way, for the people who are watching, we're having this annual in-person event called OATS Uncut Live, where the students of Orator Academy are going to speak. And Eva is speaking about parents should allow sleepovers. So I told her, why don't you come to OATS Uncut, the podcast, and give us a sneak peek, right? So give us a sneak peek. Why did you think after listening to you give that speech your parents will melt and give in?
I think that they will give in because I've done research. I've put lots of time and hard work in doing this, and I think they might give in.
What kind of research have you done? Just give us a little sneak peek so I don't want to take away from your speech that you're preparing.
I have done some research about reasons and what kids could learn about sleepovers, and a part of the speech is that kids could learn amazing habits with just sleepovers.
Amazing habits. Can you give us one of the examples of the amazing habits?
Teamwork. Teamwork is really important in my opinion because you get to work with people. And you do that a lot when you grow up and as an adult.
That is true. My thought right now, honestly, is that if you go for a sleepover, perhaps you'll see that their homes are also as messy and as cluttered as yours is. So that might be one of the good outcomes of you going to other people's homes. Yeah. You think that might happen?
Maybe.
So do you go on a play date to somebody's house?
I do play dates, but I don't do sleepovers.
Okay, so you have been to other people's homes and they also come to yours for a play date. Yeah. But I think if you can have a sleepover at your place, it's pretty good too.
True, but I also want to go away from my parents so I don't have to be bossed around.
Ooh, I want to go away from my parents too. I think we all need a little me time. Parents need it, and I guess perhaps kids need it too. So, how often do you think your age group kids are having these sleepovers? Are they having one every weekend, or what's the frequency like?
My teacher actually does this every morning where she asks a question and we share it. And on Monday and Friday we do like what are you going to do over the weekend, or what did you do over the weekend? And a lot of people are saying, I went to my friend's house for a sleepover, and then that makes me feel left out, and I don't like feeling that.
Yeah, the fear of missing out. But nobody's really teasing you about it, are they? Nobody's saying, "Oh, Eva, you don't go to sleepovers. How sad." Blah blah blah. Nobody says that, right?
No one says that, thankfully.
You are just feeling like you're missing out on something.
Yeah.
Okay. Do people come and say, "Oh, so sorry that you were not with us"? Do people say that?
Sometimes, not really.
Okay. And that's when I guess it hurts more. Okay. But at least they're being kind and making sure that you're not feeling bad. Do they ask you why you do not join them on sleepovers?
They do, but I always tell them my parents won't let me and they won't give me actual reasons.
Mommy, Daddy, time to give actual reasons. This conversation is going on the World Wide Web. So now we have to get some answers. So interesting, very interesting. Do you go to sleepovers to your any family, any aunts and uncles in the area?
I only go for sleepovers with people my parents were friends with as when they were growing up. Only like really close people.
And you go by yourself or you go with your parents for sleepovers?
With my parents.
With your parents. So you also made us comment a little while ago that you want to go away because you also want a break from being around mom and dad all the time. Why do you think you need to be away from them sometimes?
Because they're, no offense, kind of bossy.
They are boss. I think they're just being parents, perhaps. Parents are parents. They brought you into the world. They are nurturing, they're taking care of you, and they want to make sure that you are well fed, well taken care of, and safe. They're bossy. Is that what you guys say about the parents? Okay, so when you go to school, all those hours you are in school, you are by yourself, in the sense with your friends. And then you are home for less time, you're out for more, because when you come home, yes, in terms of number of hours, you are more at home, but you sleep most of the time. You are really interacting with the parents for a very minimal time. So you are away from the parents for a longer period in the 24 hours of the day.
I guess that's true, but anytime they want to, they could just come in and then say, go do your homework. Or come in and say, you need to practice this, you need to do chores, you need to do this and that.
What happens on sleepovers, by the way? What do your friends do on sleepovers?
We like to play games. We like to go outside when it's not nighttime. My friend has a pool, so we also go in there. And she just opened it, actually.
Already?
Yeah.
Open it early?
Yep. Her neighbors did it, and then that's why she did it.
Interesting. So jump in the pool and play games and hang out.
Yes.
So everybody knows how to swim?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's still, I guess, a safety issue sometimes. Well, that's amazing. So you invite them less frequently, but they have sleepovers more frequently at their homes? Is that also? Look at the camera and say, talk to mom and dad.
Why can't I have sleepovers? You have to give me real reasons.
I think it doesn't get more compelling than that. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Eva.
Me too.
It's a very real, very relevant, and very relatable topic that we brought. Real life issues, really. And I hope if you have the luxury of enjoying sleepovers, you can perhaps send us a few reasons that Eva could use to share with her parents to make her case stronger. And if you are not, perhaps you could join hands with us and we could come up with a script together for the parents to convince them. But remember, the reasons have to be strong, relatable, and very compelling. You think so? Yeah?
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, keep smiling, keep arguing, keep demanding, keep speaking up, keep standing up for what you believe in and what you want from life. Remember to love and to laugh and have a blast. We shall meet again. Thank you for tuning in.